Good morning, everyone. You're very, very welcome here. I hope you've been able to do at least one session every day and do the homework. That's really the most important part of it. We can hang out here, we can meet here every day for 15 minutes, and you may learn something new perhaps in these 15 minutes, but really the most important part is the practice. So please, 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 as many times as you can a day, whenever you have a couple of minutes spare, please sit and go through the steps that we went through or that we go through every day, and get yourself into that more focused state of mind and try and be aware of the breath. The more number of times you can do it per day, the better you will get at it. And if you can be aware of your breath as much as possible throughout the day, it will really complement your meditation when we come to that as well. And a practical tip for people who live in areas where it's not so quiet, it's not easy to get quietude. Noise cancelling headphones are great. I think in the beginning, I didn't know about noise cancelling headphones, or I couldn't afford them. I didn't have the money, and I used those airplane buffers, the things that staff use on the airstrip. I had those that people who work in construction sites, so I use those to block out noise, and those are available quite cheap if you're not able to get noise cancelling headphones. You can try earplugs. Many things you can try. I tried the foam ones, I tried the wax ones. The foam ones I think work a little better than the wax ones for me, but you can try anything, anything and everything, whatever you can try to block out external sound while you're beginning to concentrate. As you go further with the practice, what I noticed was I was able to use the sounds around me to anchor myself in the present moment, and the sounds helped me, if that makes sense, for mindfulness. Not necessarily for meditation, because when you're in meditation, you want a zero amount of distraction as possible. But with mindfulness, you can actually use the sounds around you to anchor yourself in the present moment. So that's what I would like to practice with you today. So when you go about your day and you're doing the practice of sitting in concentration and focusing on the breaths, there's something you can do with sound, not just sounds around you, but another kind of sound to help you anchor. So let's try and locate both of them and see if it works for you. Maybe not now, maybe as you continue the practice, this is something that you can use. So I'd like you, as always, be aware of the breath in the body. Be aware of the breath in the nose. Be aware of the temperature of the air in the nose as it comes in and goes out. See if you can be aware of which nostril is more active at the moment. Relax the face into a gentle smile. And your tongue resting at the roof of the mouth. And taking some deep breaths. And with each deep exhalation, feeling your shoulders drop, relax. feeling the palms of your hands and the soles of your feet relax. Just being aware of the breath. We're not counting breaths at the moment. I just want to bring your awareness to any sounds around you right now. Try and keep the same concentration of being aware of every single breath, keeping your eyes closed, your back straight, and very, very still. See if you can be aware of sounds around you that you may not have been aware of before. It could be a clock ticking. It could be a refrigerator humming. It could be the sound of your computer or laptop if you're on one. Sometimes the fan goes on. It could even be the humming of lights in the house, electricity. Sometimes you hear something coming off a light bulb if you're close to it. There may be sounds in the distance, people talking, the sound of cars going by, animals, pets, anything. Keep being aware of every breath. Very, very, very alert, hyper alert, as if, I think I said this before, as if you're playing a game of hide and seek and you're on hyper alert, listening out for the tiniest sound. So we're not getting caught up in the sounds of thinking about them and what they are and where they're coming from, and no stories to be created in the mind about them, but just being aware. And now try and bring your attention to your ears, your own ears. Try and bring your attention to the middle of your ears, inside the ear canals. And see if you can hear your sound, if that makes sense. Maybe the sound of blood rushing in your ears. Maybe a slight hissing. Maybe a high-pitched sound, something like tinnitus, but perhaps not as annoying. Unless you already have tinnitus, then I apologize. However, you can use this sound because what you may have noticed is when you're in a quiet place, if you have tinnitus, it'll be louder and you're aware of it and you're actually in the present moment. So the next time you're sitting down to concentrate and focus on the 10 breaths at a time, maybe before you start counting, or if you want to give yourself a little break from counting, or even during counting the breaths, whichever you want to try, see if you can be aware of all the sounds around you and any sounds in your own ears. What I discovered was when I first started meditating, it was one of the first things I noticed when my mind went quiet by itself. Not when my guru gave me a blessing and my mind went quiet. That was the first time. That was something else that was incredible. But after that, when I started walking the path of meditation myself and learning how to still my mind, it was one of the first things that I experienced that I became hyper aware of was this sound. And then later on, I could use this sound to keep myself in the present moment. In the beginning, it might be a bit annoying, like, oh, now I can't unhear it. Now I've heard it, I can't unhear it. But when it's there, you know you're in the present moment. And sometimes it gets louder when your mind goes completely silent. It may be for a couple of seconds in the beginning, and then soon it becomes a bit more constant. So just being aware of the sounds around you, the sounds in your ears, anytime you're trying to meditate, anytime you're trying to concentrate your mind more by counting the breaths. See if you can be aware of any sounds around you. So there's a drill just gone off outside. I really hope it's not being picked up on here, but that's a sound. There's some work going on out there, but I hope it doesn't disturb you. So just a couple minutes more, keep being aware of the breath, keep the eyes closed, the body still. We're not counting today. Today we're just being aware of any sounds around us and in the ears. And as you go on with your day, try to keep this awareness about you, being aware of the breath moving in and out of the body, and trying to be more aware of sounds around you, especially when it's quiet. Things like ticking clocks and fridges humming and things that are just there in the background, but we're not aware of them. I apologize if you have any ticking clocks in your bedroom. This is probably the day after this, you'll probably throw them all out because you'll be so aware of the ticking that it'll disturb you. I hope not. I hope not. But yeah, when you become more aware of sounds around you, sometimes they can be a bit irritating and you may need to change your surroundings and the things that you have in your surroundings, like ticking clocks, maybe. So I'll leave you there. Please continue to be aware of the sounds around you. Please continue with your homework. Keep doing the brushing the teeth homework, being aware of every brush stroke. And when we finish this session and you move from this spot, please be aware of which foot moves first. And every time you stand up and sit down today, if you can, count the number of times if you can. And keep remembering to breathe. And anytime you have a minute to spare, even 1 minute in a waiting room, in a doctor's surgery, at the traffic lights, don't close your eyes though if you're at the traffic lights. Just try and count 10 breaths at a time. Wherever you can sit still, count 10 breaths. And play with this thing of focusing on the sounds and see if that helps you to be more in the present moment. Thank you very much for your time. And I will see you. I feel like saying I love you all, but I can't see you all yet. But for those in my consciousness at the moment that I'm thinking of, who I know watch these videos and are doing all the practice, I really do love you all. And I really hope you find it helpful. And we walk more and more closer to peace and inspiration and helping others on our way as well. Lots of love to you all. And I'll see you tomorrow morning. Bye-bye.